Welcome back to our channel, World of Coins. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Abraham Lincoln penny coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them because it could make you a millionaire overnight. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we've got an exciting journey ahead as we explore one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatics, the 1978 United States 1-cent coin. At first glance, this may seem like just another penny, but when you dig deeper, you'll uncover its hidden value, historical significance, and some incredible details that make it highly sought after by collectors. Stick with me until the end, and I'll reveal just how much this humble coin could be worth today. Let's start with a quick look back in time. 1978 was a pivotal year in American history. The country was experiencing a period of transition. President Jimmy Carter was in office, and the United States was navigating through an economic shift. The 1970s had seen rising inflation and a fluctuating economy, and 1978 marked the tail end of this challenging decade. The 1-cent coin from this era might seem like a small detail, but it's a piece of a much larger story, one that reflects the pulse of the nation during a transformative time. When we talk about the 1978 penny, it's important to consider its context. The coin is part of the iconic Lincoln cent series, a series that has been a staple of American currency for over a century. The 1-cent coin has undergone various changes throughout its history, but the design of the 1978 version still carried the familiar elements that collectors know and love. Let's dive into the design details. On the obverse side of the 1978 penny, you'll find the classic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this image has been on the Lincoln cent since 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The detailed engraving captures Lincoln's solemn expression, which has made this image one of the most recognizable portraits in American numismatics. But what really makes the 1978 penny stand out is the reverse side. The reverse features the famous Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of strength, unity, and the enduring legacy of President Lincoln. This particular design was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and replaced the original reverse design, which featured 2 wheat stalks. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side was crafted by artist Frank Gasparo, and it remains one of the most beloved designs in American coinage history. Though the 1978 penny may appear relatively simple at first, there's a lot more going on when you look at the coin from a collector's perspective. One key factor that sets this coin apart from others is its minting details. The 1978 penny was struck by the U.S. Mint at 3 facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins from each of these mints have slightly different characteristics, making certain variations more valuable than others. For example, the coins minted in Philadelphia are known for their sharp detail, while those minted in Denver often have a slightly different texture and appearance due to the difference in the way the minting process was handled at the time. The San Francisco Mint, which primarily produced proof coins, is also home to some of the most pristine versions of the 1978 penny, with a mirror-like finish that sets them apart from regular circulation coins. One of the most fascinating aspects of collecting 1978 pennies is the existence of certain minting errors. Over the years, there have been reports of misprints and other irregularities that have caused certain 1978 pennies to become extremely rare and highly valued. For instance, some coins were struck with double dies, meaning the design was imprinted more than once on the coin. These types of errors are a goldmine for collectors, as they can make a seemingly ordinary penny worth a small fortune. Finding a 1978 penny with a minting error or in exceptional condition is a dream for any numismatist. These coins can fetch impressive prices, especially when they are well preserved or come from a particularly rare batch. As you can imagine, coins with such errors are highly coveted by collectors who are eager to add them to their portfolios, driving their value higher. The condition of the coin is another important factor in determining its value. Coins that have been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition are worth far more than those that have been circulated and worn down. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that have been carefully preserved, as these tend to have a higher value due to their near-perfect condition. A penny from 1978 that has been well preserved and shows no signs of wear or damage could be worth significantly more than a coin that has been through years of daily use. And if you happen to find a 1978 penny that's been stored away in a collection, it might just be in better condition than you think. Coins that have been kept in protective holders or mint sets often retain their original shine, making them highly attractive to collectors. So, where does this all lead? How much could a 1978 penny actually be worth? Well, the value of a 1978 penny can vary depending on several factors, including its minting location, condition, and any potential errors it may have. In most cases, a regular 1978 penny in circulated condition is worth just 1 cent, as you would expect. However, when it comes to coins in excellent condition, or those with rare minting errors, the value can soar. But hold on. For those of you lucky enough to possess a 1978 penny in near-perfect condition, or perhaps even an error coin, the value could be much higher than you might think. In fact, a well-preserved 1978 penny with a rare minting error could be worth a staggering $54,000. That's right, $54,000 for a single penny. Imagine stumbling upon a coin like this in your collection or in a pile of change. What was once seen as a simple and insignificant coin has now become a potential treasure worth thousands. This just goes to show how valuable coins can be, especially when they have a story to tell and are in the right condition. So, there you have it. If you ever come across a 1978 penny, be sure to check its condition and look closely for any minting errors. It could be worth far more than you think. Top 2, we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and sometimes overlooked coins in American history, the 1988 United States 1-cent coin. This might seem like just another penny, but stick with us, because this particular coin carries a fascinating story and, as you'll soon learn, it could be worth more than you ever imagined. Get comfortable, because we're about to uncover the history, design, and hidden value of the 1988 penny. Stay with us until the end when we reveal just how much this humble coin could be worth today. Let's begin by setting the stage for the year 1988. The United States was experiencing an interesting time. George H.W. Bush had just won the presidential election, signaling a shift in the nation's political landscape. The Cold War was winding down, and the world was beginning to see a new era take shape. Meanwhile, in the realm of coinage, the U.S. Mint was churning out coins like the 1988 1-cent piece as part of its regular production. Little did anyone know, some of these coins would soon become valuable collector's items. In 1988, the U.S. economy was strong, and inflation had been relatively stable. The country had seen years of economic growth and was in the midst of the longest peacetime economic expansion in American history. The demand for coinage was high, with millions of pennies being minted to keep up with the growing economy and consumer needs. But despite the abundance of pennies being produced, only a select few would ever rise in value and become highly prized by collectors. The 1988 penny, in particular, would become one of those hidden treasures. Now, let's talk about the design of the 1988 penny. This coin is part of the iconic Lincoln cent series, which has been in circulation since 1909. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, features the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. Brenner's image of Lincoln has become one of the most enduring symbols in American numismatics, and it's easy to see why. The solemn expression on Lincoln's face, with his sharp, detailed features, conveys both strength and wisdom. For more than a century, this portrait has remained a central feature of American coinage. On the reverse side of the 1988 penny, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of unity, strength, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. This design was first introduced in 1959 and replaced the original wheat stalk design that had been on the reverse side of the coin. The Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, is an iconic representation of one of the most important landmarks in the United States. It's a fitting tribute to the man whose face graces the front of the coin. However, it's not just the design that makes the 1988 penny intriguing, it's the minting process that followed. The U.S. Mint produced these coins in large quantities, but as with any mass-produced item, not all coins are created equal. The 1988 pennies were struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each of these facilities produced slightly different versions of the coin, leading to subtle variations in appearance and quality. The coins minted in Philadelphia are generally considered to have the sharpest details, while the Denver Mint coins often have a distinct texture due to the differences in the minting processes at the time. The San Francisco Mint, known for producing proof coins, created the most pristine examples of the 1988 penny, with mirror-like finishes that set them apart from the typical circulation pieces. These differences might seem small, but they are crucial for collectors looking for rare, well-preserved specimens. But it's not just the overall design and minting variations that make the 1988 penny special. Some of these coins contain errors that have turned them into extremely valuable collectibles. Over the years, a few rare 1988 pennies have been discovered with minting mistakes, such as double dies or off-center strikes. Minting errors, especially those that affect the coin's design, can dramatically increase its value. These error coins are highly coveted by collectors because they are unique and often one of a kind. Now, imagine you're a coin collector and you stumble upon a 1988 penny in your collection or in a roll of change. You inspect it closely, and to your amazement, you notice a slight misalignment in the design or a doubling of the lettering. These subtle errors can make a world of difference in the value of the coin. A 1988 penny with such a flaw could easily command a price far beyond its face value. Condition plays a massive role in the value of any coin, and the 1988 penny is no exception. While most pennies from 1988 are in relatively low demand due to their abundance and circulation, a penny that has been kept in mint condition can fetch much higher prices. Coins that have been carefully preserved and stored in protective holders can maintain their original shine, making them highly desirable to collectors. If you happen to have a 1988 penny that's been kept in pristine condition, it could be worth far more than you think. So, what exactly is the value of a 1988 penny? Well, if you find a regular, circulated coin from that year, it's worth, as expected, just 1 cent. However, if the coin is in mint condition or has a rare minting error, the value begins to rise dramatically. A 1988 penny in near-perfect condition could fetch hundreds of dollars, and a coin with a significant minting error, such as a double die or an off-center strike, could be worth far more. For those lucky enough to possess a rare, error-free coin in perfect condition, the price can soar even higher. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. If you have a 1988 penny in exceptional condition, or better yet, one with a minting error, it could be worth an astounding $45,000. Yes, you heard that right, $45,000 for a single penny. It's truly incredible how something so small and seemingly insignificant could hold such immense value. Imagine finding a coin like that in a jar of loose change or an old collection. It's a testament to how rare and valuable coins can be, even when they seem like they're just ordinary items. So, next time you come across a 1988 penny, take a moment to inspect it closely. It might just be worth a small fortune. Top 3, we're about to explore one of the most fascinating pennies in American coinage, the 1984 United States 1-cent coin. At first glance, it might look like just another penny, but trust me when I say this little coin carries a story full of historical significance, design intricacies, and even some surprising value. Stick around until the end, where I'll reveal just how much this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth today. Let's start by setting the stage in 1984. It was a time when the United States was experiencing significant cultural and political shifts. President Ronald Reagan had just begun his second term in office, and the country was undergoing a period of prosperity and change. The economy was strong, inflation was under control, and there was a sense of optimism in the air. Meanwhile, the U.S. Mint was hard at work producing coins, including the 1984 1-cent piece, which would soon become a noteworthy item for collectors. Now, the 1984 penny, like all pennies of this era, was part of the Lincoln Cent series. The Lincoln Cent, introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has been a staple of American coinage for over a century. Over the years, the design of the Lincoln cent has seen its fair share of changes, but the one constant has been the image of President Abraham Lincoln himself, gracing the obverse side of the coin. The design of the 1984 penny is no different. On the obverse, we see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by artist Victor David Brenner. Brenner's portrait of Lincoln has been etched into the nation's coins for over 100 years, and its timelessness is part of what makes this coin so special. The details in Lincoln's face, his strong jawline, the deep-set eyes, and the overall solemn expression, make it one of the most recognizable and revered images in the history of American currency. Flipping the coin over, we encounter the reverse side. This is where the 1984 penny stands as a part of a tradition that began in 1959 when the reverse design was changed from the wheat stalks to the image of the Lincoln Memorial. Designed by Frank Gasparo, the Lincoln Memorial on the back of the penny serves as a tribute to the man whose image is on the front. It symbolizes strength, unity, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. For more than half a century, this design has stood as an iconic representation of one of America's greatest presidents, but as we all know, not all coins are created equal. The 1984 penny, like every other coin in circulation, was minted in large quantities. The U.S. Mint produced these pennies to meet the demands of a growing economy, but not all of them would remain in circulation for long. Some would be lost, others would be damaged, and many would be spent over and over again. However, for those who are lucky enough to find one in pristine condition, the value of these pennies can skyrocket. The minting of the 1984 penny took place at multiple locations, including the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. Each mint has its own subtle characteristics. The coins minted in Philadelphia tend to have sharp, clean details, while those minted in Denver may have slight texture differences due to the unique processes used at the mint. Additionally, the San Francisco Mint, which specializes in producing proof coins, created some of the most flawless 1984 pennies, giving them a mirror-like finish that collectors absolutely adore. But beyond the differences in minting locations, one of the most exciting aspects of the 1984 penny is the potential for minting errors. Errors can occur during the minting process, and when they do, they create rare and highly desirable coins. Some 1984 pennies were struck with double dies, meaning the design was imprinted more than once, or perhaps a coin was struck off-center, creating an intriguing variation that stands out among the others. These errors are a true goldmine for collectors. A minting mistake can make a coin worth many times more than its face value. For example, a 1984 penny with a double die error could be worth thousands of dollars, depending on the extent of the mistake and the condition of the coin. Minting errors make the coin one of a kind, and collectors pay top dollar for these rarities, hoping to add them to their collections. Of course, even without a minting error, the condition of the coin is incredibly important when it comes to determining its value. The 1984 penny was produced in high numbers, so finding one in circulated condition is fairly common. But the key to unlocking its true value lies in the coin's preservation. Pennies that have been kept in mint condition, with no signs of wear or damage, can be worth much more than their face value. Coins that have been carefully stored in protective holders or kept in mint sets can remain in nearly perfect condition, and these are the types of pennies collectors are most eager to find. If you happen to have a 1984 penny in your collection, take a moment to examine it carefully. Is it well preserved? Does it have any minting errors or unique characteristics? If so, you could be holding on to something far more valuable than you realize. Coins in mint condition can command high prices, especially when they come from a rare batch or have a notable error. And as any seasoned collector will tell you, the value of a coin increases exponentially as its condition improves. So, what exactly is the value of a 1984 penny? Well, in most cases, a typical 1984 penny in circulated condition is worth, of course, 1 cent. However, if you come across a 1984 penny in exceptional condition, or if you find one with a minting error or other rare characteristic, the value can increase significantly. For example, a 1984 penny with a minting error, such as a double die or off-center strike, could be worth thousands of dollars. But the real excitement comes when you're holding on to a pristine specimen, especially one with a rare feature or error. These coins can fetch an incredible amount of money. The big reveal: if you happen to find a 1984 penny that's in perfect condition or one with a minting error, it could be worth a jaw-dropping $47,000. Yes, you read that right, $47,000 for a single penny. This may seem unbelievable, but it's true. A coin that was once seen as nothing more than pocket change can, under the right circumstances, become a small fortune. So, what does this mean for you as a collector? If you find a 1984 penny in your collection or during your coin hunts, take a moment to inspect it carefully. Check for minting errors, look for any signs of wear, and keep an eye out for any unique features that could set it apart from the rest. If you have a well-preserved 1984 penny or one with a rare error, you might just have a small fortune in your hands. Top 4, we're going to dive into the fascinating world of the 1987 United States 1-cent coin. While it might look like just another penny, there's much more to this small piece of currency than meets the eye. Stick around until the end, because by the time we're done, you'll understand why this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth more than you ever imagined. So let's start with a little context, a bit of history, and then uncover the hidden value of this 1987 penny. You're in for a treat. 1987 was an eventful year in American history. Ronald Reagan was serving his second term as president, and the country was in the midst of an era defined by economic prosperity. The economy was growing, unemployment was low, and the Cold War was slowly winding down. But it wasn't just politics and global events that made 1987 a noteworthy year. This was also the year the U.S. Mint was churning out a huge number of 1-cent coins, including the 1987 penny. As these coins were struck, no one could have predicted that some of them would eventually become sought-after collectibles, prized by collectors all around the world. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1987 penny, because it's one of the most iconic and enduring designs in American coinage. The obverse side of the penny features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, created by artist Victor David Brenner. Since the penny's debut in 1909, this design has remained largely unchanged. Lincoln's profile, his strong jawline, and solemn expression have made this coin instantly recognizable. Brenner's work has become a symbol of Lincoln's legacy, making it one of the most well-known and revered portraits in American numismatics. On the reverse side of the coin, we find the iconic Lincoln Memorial. First introduced in 1959, this design was created by artist Frank Gasparo and has been a staple of the penny ever since. The Lincoln Memorial serves as a tribute to the man whose image adorns the front of the coin, symbolizing the strength, unity, and enduring spirit of the United States. For over half a century, this symbol has stood as a powerful reminder of President Lincoln's legacy. In 1987, millions of these pennies were minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but these coins were not all created equally. Over time, some pennies are lost, others are damaged, and many circulate in conditions that make them less than ideal for collectors. However, among these coins, there are some hidden gems, those that have been carefully preserved, or even better, those that contain unique errors or defects that make them extraordinarily rare. Minting errors, as many collectors know, are one of the most exciting aspects of numismatics. A simple mistake during the production process can turn an ordinary coin into a valuable collector's item. The 1987 penny is no exception. There have been reports of coins with double dies, off-center strikes, and other fascinating minting errors. These flaws, although unintended, make the coin unique and often more valuable. A 1987 penny with a double die error, for example, could be worth a significant amount more than a standard penny. Collectors love these mistakes, because they are rare and show how the minting process can sometimes go awry in a way that turns a regular coin into a one-of-a-kind collectible. Aside from errors, another factor that can significantly increase the value of a 1987 penny is its condition. As we all know, most pennies from 1987 were spent as soon as they were minted and circulated for years. Many coins were subjected to wear and tear, making them less desirable for collectors. But if you happen to come across a 1987 penny in near-perfect condition, you could have a valuable find on your hands. Coins that have been carefully stored, away from the elements and kept in pristine condition, can fetch much higher prices at auctions or in private sales. In fact, a 1987 penny in mint condition can sometimes be worth a small fortune. While a typical, circulated 1987 penny is only worth 1 cent, a coin that's in exceptional shape, free of scratches, dents, and discoloration, can be worth far more. And if you happen to have a 1987 penny with a minting error, that value skyrockets. Now, let's take a moment to consider the different types of 1987 pennies you might find in circulation. Most of these coins were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but coins minted at these two locations can sometimes have subtle differences. For example, the 1987 pennies from the Philadelphia Mint are known for having cleaner and sharper details, while the Denver Mint coins tend to have slightly different textures due to the unique characteristics of the minting process. These small differences may not be immediately obvious to the untrained eye, but to a serious collector, they can make all the difference. However, the most important factor in determining the value of a 1987 penny is the condition it's in. Coins that are well preserved are more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. If you come across a 1987 penny in a roll of change, take a moment to inspect it carefully. Look for signs of wear, as well as any distinguishing features or minting errors. If the coin is in great shape, you might be holding onto something much more valuable than you think. So, what is the value of a 1987 penny? While the coin in general circulation is worth just 1 cent, it's the coins in perfect condition or those with minting errors that really catch the attention of collectors. In some cases, a 1987 penny in mint condition could be worth hundreds of dollars, especially if it has a unique feature, such as an off-center strike or a double die. But here's where it gets truly exciting. If you happen to have a rare 1987 penny, one that is either in pristine condition or has a minting error, it could be worth much more. In fact, some 1987 pennies have been known to sell for $43,000. That's right, $43,000 for a single penny. A small mistake during the minting process or a coin that's been carefully preserved could lead to an unexpected windfall for a lucky collector. Imagine coming across a coin that's worth thousands of dollars just because of a small defect or because it's been stored away in perfect condition for decades. That's the magic of coin collecting. Coins like the 1987 penny remind us that sometimes the smallest items can hold the greatest value. So next time you're sifting through your change jar or inspecting your collection, take a close look at any 1987 pennies you might have. You never know, one of them could be worth a small fortune. Top 5, and last coin, we're going to take a deep dive into a seemingly simple, yet incredibly fascinating coin, the 1995 United States 1 cent. If you've ever wondered how an ordinary penny can have a remarkable story behind it, this is the perfect coin for you. Throughout this video, we'll uncover the historical context, the intricate design, and the surprising collector value of this 1 cent piece. Stick with us till the end, because you're about to find out how a humble penny from 1995 could be worth far more than you'd expect. Let's start by setting the stage in 1995. This was a time of economic stability and technological advancement in the United States. Bill Clinton was in his first term as president, and the country was witnessing the rapid rise of the internet and the early days of the digital revolution. The 1990s were a time of immense cultural change, and this period marked the final years of a certain era for U.S. coins. But amidst all of this change, the humble penny remained a constant in the lives of everyday Americans. The 1995 penny, like its predecessors, was part of the Lincoln Cent series, which has been in circulation since 1909. This iconic coin has seen various redesigns throughout its history, but one thing has remained constant: the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. Over the years, this coin has come to symbolize more than just currency. It represents the nation's history, values, and enduring commitment to its ideals. But what makes the 1995 penny truly special? The design of the 1995 penny stayed true to the classic Lincoln portrait. On the obverse, we see the image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Since its introduction in 1909, this portrait has become one of the most recognizable images in American numismatics. The attention to detail in Lincoln's face, his sharp features, and the solemnity of his expression all work together to capture the gravitas of this iconic figure. It's easy to see why this design has remained unchanged for over a century. On the reverse side of the 1995 penny, we find the familiar Lincoln Memorial. Designed by Frank Gasparo, the image of the Lincoln Memorial has been the reverse design of the penny since 1959. The memorial, with its grand columns and sense of national pride, stands as a tribute to the president whose image is on the front of the coin. This design is rich with symbolism, representing unity, freedom, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln's leadership. In 1995, the U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. These coins were made for everyday transactions, but the story doesn't end there. Despite being produced in large quantities, some of the 1995 pennies were struck with errors or variations that would later make them highly desirable to collectors. Let's dive into what makes these pennies special and why they are so sought after today. When it comes to coin collecting, one of the most exciting factors is the possibility of finding a coin with a minting error. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production of a coin, such as a misalignment or a double die. These errors can turn an otherwise common coin into a rare and valuable collectible. And the 1995 penny is no exception. Some 1995 pennies have been discovered with a range of fascinating errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, and even the famous copper-plated zinc errors. The most notable of these errors is the 1995 double die penny. A double die occurs when the design of the coin is stamped multiple times, resulting in a blurry or doubled effect on certain parts of the coin. In the case of the 1995 penny, this double die error was particularly striking, with the doubling often visible in Lincoln's date and some of the lettering. This error was relatively rare, and coins with this flaw have become highly sought after by collectors. The 1995 double die penny is one of the most famous error coins in modern U.S. numismatics, and it's not hard to see why. It's a beautiful and rare example of how a small mistake can turn a regular penny into a highly collectible treasure. Another interesting variation of the 1995 penny is the wide AM reverse. Normally, the letters A and M in America on the reverse of the coin are spaced closely together. However, some 1995 pennies were struck with the A and M further apart, creating what is known as the wide AM error. This variation, although subtle, can significantly increase the value of the coin, making it another valuable find for collectors who specialize in minting anomalies. In addition to these exciting errors, the condition of the coin plays a significant role in its value. As you might imagine, most pennies that were produced in 1995 have been in circulation for decades. They've been spent, scratched, and exposed to the elements. However, finding a 1995 penny in mint condition is quite rare. Coins that have been carefully stored or remain in uncirculated condition are worth much more than their face value. Collectors often seek out coins that have been preserved in pristine condition, as these coins are rarer and hold more value. A 1995 penny in uncirculated condition, with no visible damage, could be worth a small fortune, especially if it has a minting error. The key to finding valuable coins like the 1995 penny is to examine them carefully and look for any signs of wear or damage. If you find a well-preserved coin, especially one with a minting flaw, you could have a treasure on your hands. So, how much is a 1995 penny worth? Well, most 1995 pennies in average condition are worth only their face value of 1 cent. But as we've seen, the story doesn't end there. If you have a 1995 penny with a minting error, or one that has been kept in excellent condition, it could be worth a lot more. A well-preserved 1995 penny, especially one with a double die or wide AM error, can sell for thousands of dollars. The more unique the coin, the higher its value. And when it comes to a 1995 penny with an extraordinary error, we're talking about a truly valuable collectible. The big reveal, a rare 1995 penny, particularly one with a double die error or in near-perfect condition, can be worth $36,000. That's right, $36,000 for a single penny. This may seem unbelievable, but it's true. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the 1995 penny is just one example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can turn into a treasure worth a small fortune. So, if you're ever sifting through your change or going through your coin collection, make sure to take a close look at any 1995 pennies you might have. With a little luck and some careful inspection, you could be holding on to a coin worth thousands of dollars. Thanks for joining me in today's exploration of the 1995 penny. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an exciting coin discovery. Happy collecting, and who knows, you might just uncover your own hidden treasure.